Mic check. I used to cop a lot, but never cop no drop.
Dry bars are really good, actually, and like they're hit and miss, and they're clean, and they've gotten like
Fem stack cats get kidnapped. Then release a statement to the press. Let the rest know who did that. Metal fist terrorist, claim responsibility. Broken household name usually set in hostility. What is MF? You silly? I like to take men's to the end for 2 milli.
I don't know.
That's the audio daily double. Rappers need to fall off just to save me the trouble. Yo, watch your own back, get in and go out alone. Black, stay in the zone, turn H2O to cognac. On doomsday, ever since the womb till I'm back where my brother went. That's what my tumor say. Right above my government doomulate. Either unmarked or engraved, hey, who's to say? I wrote this one in BCDC O section. If you don't believe me, go get bagged and checked in. Cell number 17, I'm under the top bunk. I say this not to be me, it was bad luck a pop junk. Pop the trunk on C-Cypher punk, leave them left scrape, God forbid. If ain't no escape, blame MF tape, definition super villain. A killer who loved children, one who was well skilled in destruction as well as building. While Sidney Sheldon teaches the trife to be trifer. I'm trading science fiction with my man alive lifer.
And last time I did a show in Alcala at this bonkers gig, he's at the theater I walk to on the way to the thing, and I see his name on the marquee, and it's like, I think it's like the Matt Fernandez theater, but he looks, but he had it packed out. I'm like, is it the dry bar? He's like, no, not really. He gets some, but it was like Facebook for him.
Yeah.
So it's always just like one random crowd work interaction he had blew up, and then he became got a following out of it. You know?
Yeah, it happened. Mm-hmm. It definitely happened. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was just at I went to go watch a professional show at the Comedy Cellar, their Village Underground, just a couple nights ago, and just to, understand the what it's like a real every single comedian coming up, Netflix special, HBO special, and it's just like it's a whole different level, and it's interesting to see how people get discovered, and everybody's got a different fan base too.
Who was on?
I don't remember the names because I had not seen them before.
I'm just wondering if there's anybody I know.
But who was hosting it? There was this one guy. I followed the guy that was hosting it. Artie.
Oh, Artie Fuqua?
Yeah.
Oh, he's been around forever.
Yeah. And then, where was this? There was this other girl that was... Oh, okay, so Francesco De Carlo, he was very funny.
Oh, cool.
He's from Italy.
Oh.
And then, there was this one girl that had me fucking dying. Caitlin Palufo.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Hilarious.
Her a little bit.
Yeah, it was, but it's good. I like to, whenever I travel, I like to go watch a professional show.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, I'm so early in it, it's so different from what I experience on stage. So I like to see how it's set up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was cool. Where have you performed up in New York? Have you been up there?
I lived in New York for a year and a half, and I have a lot of regrets about it, is the best way I would put it. Mm-hmm. And I almost feel like when I play it back in my head, because I met my wife there, and we lived like a train stop apart from each other off of the L. I lived off of Halsey, she lived off of Myrtle Wyckoff, and I almost sometimes I'm just like, that's the only reason I was there. That's the only reason, because in my head, when I started doing stand-up in 2004, I was always like, yeah, I want to move to New York. And in my head, it was like the Comedy Cellar. It was Tough Crowd. It was the Comedy Central. And then when I got there, it was kind of the alt hipstery Brooklyn thing, which was what that's not what the industry was going for at the time. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'll play along. And that's what, like, those were the type of rooms a lot of my friends were going to. And, like, they were getting, like, we were growing apart. They were getting frustrated. They see it as, like, almost like open mic, bar show plus question mark equals profit, you know, and they didn't have a real end game. And it was just messy for a lot of people, I would say.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I had it to do over again, I would probably try to position myself in like a different scene. And I probably, like, I wouldn't have tried to live in like near Bushwick. I probably would have tried to live in Astoria just to be a little closer to the, adjacent to the Manhattan stuff, which is really, because that's a lot more, because that's the thing. I would do these alt shows and hate and resent them, and these alt mics and hate and resent them. And then it's like, New York's so huge too, then I would just like get asked to do, and it doesn't necessarily be about what neighborhood you're in either, because I remember I did this like laughs taping at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and then I met this one comic there, and he lives in Florida now. But he's like, oh, yeah, I have a dog walking place. Where do you live? And he lived in Ridgewood. And he lived on my street, George Street in Ridgewood. So he just drove me back. He lived like a block down. And we never interacted before because we were just running in different circles. You know, but then again, that was like, oh, this is, because, you know, in a way, you just kind of conceive, oh, comedy is different in New York. But it isn't. This comedy is different, you know? And so if I had it to do over again, I would have tried to just, I guess, go with my gut instinct. And also that was a thing too, where like I saved up money to move there. It took me a while. I was 31. I'd already been doing stand-up for 10 years. I was like, you know, working. I headlined my home clubs, headlined some road clubs, I had taped a CD in Seattle. And so then you're like, oh, you know, I don't want to be too like, but like, oh yeah, go and put your name in this bucket mic with this jack off in a ukulele and have everybody like roll their eyes. You know, it's some, you know, bar with Christmas tree lights. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And so like I maybe brought too much of that to it, but I mean, you just see the way it's played out over the years that I just kind of. And I don't regret anything because I have faith and I believe everything happened for a reason. And it took me where I needed to go. But I still kind of feel like I spent a few years in the wilderness, basically. But I also feel like it was just like maybe I just had a few years kind of really needing to learn how to live life too. So I don't regret that either. And I also feel like now, you know, having a wife, having a kids, kid-ish too, coming. But like, I almost feel like that gives me a little bit more of like a relationship with mankind that I was missing.
Yeah.
That like a lot of comics too, who are great comics, but just grind. And, you know, like you have this thing too where like you have the person in New York who's doing every single spot they can a night. Like their whole act becomes about being on the train, trying to get to, you know what I mean? So
because you're not living life outside of the comedy. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed that I feel like I feel like I'm almost going through that right now where I've been like trapped in this grind of just, which is, it's good for me because I'm not developed enough yet to where I'm like, oh, this is where my comedy, where I want it to be. But I'm just like getting comfortable on stage. But I am in that position where like I was in New York, I was doing 3 spots a night this past week. And I was like trying to do different material each day. And I was like, I've been almost holding myself back because like even though the 20, 25 minutes that I have isn't what I want it to be, I can still start asking to like try to do feature spots to where I'm like, I can get more, like I'm almost stuck in this routine where I'm like, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, you know, where it's like, I need to do it, obviously, but it's like, I need to also keep challenging myself to do more.
Well, I'm also like, well, it's never going to be where you want it to be.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
it'll never get
you're
there.
going to hate it until it's perfect, and then you're tired of it. But yeah, that really is a thing, too, especially because, like, when I try to do these, like, smaller shows and just do, like, a spot and get my ease into... Because it's like, I'll do an open mic every once in a while, but, like, if I'm around, like, if I'm already near where an open mic is, I'm just not going to drive out to an open mic anymore. Because because, like, when I started, too, in Detroit, all the clubs were the places you would do open mics. Like, an open mic set would be around 7 minutes, which is a ton for somebody doing it for their first time. And also, it's like, it's not like there would be a packed house or anything, but it's not just all other comics.
Yeah.
It's other human beings.
Yes.
So you're going to get a legitimate idea of what real people laugh at.
Yep.
Which is the most important thing. And so... I don't do that as much, but like when I do smaller sets, like it's almost like there's this, and I always compare it to like this job interview thing. Any set I do, I feel like that too, where it's like, okay, I have to get a good report card or whatever, I guess, for whoever might be watching. But then it's just like, okay, I'll do the jokes I know and give myself the groundwork to go try something new off of, and it's just then I get the light, and it's like, really already? So it's just not a lot of time. It's not a lot of time for me to work it out, and it's not a lot of time for me to figure out where it fits cohesively. And I always I have 4 things I've ever thought in my life, but like one of them is, do you remember on Pee-wee's Playhouse he had a gigantic and maybe I'm too old again, I'm aging myself, but he had a gigantic bowl of aluminum foil, and he, I remember like Cowboy Curtis came over and like, Pee-wee, I got you a piece of foil, and he put it on the bowl, and it's like, you want to think like, oh, I'm just going to have all this new material at once, and some people do. But for me, it's just adding a little piece at a time. And so like now too, it's just a thing where I'm thinking of it like in terms of like the last set, the last weekend I did, I'm just like, oh, I added a new thing that weekend. I added a new thing the weekend before. And like maybe the weekend before, like I tried some new things and maybe they didn't work, or maybe they just didn't feel right. Because sometimes a thing will kind of get a reaction, but you'll just be like, I don't like the reaction it's getting. It doesn't. I don't feel like it's my voice for some reason. It just doesn't go with the rest of it. So that's what I'm just trying to do now. Is just like one little bit at a time, and then that kind of makes it new, or like finding a way to challenge myself by reordering things is a good one. And then you find maybe something new, some new connective tissue that way.
Yeah.
And because like too, I also just, to this day, I almost always, because I'll look at the act, because it's like this spine and like Jenga pieces, I've been taking stuff out and putting it back in. But to me, it feels like the same thing I've been doing, for like 18, 20 years. But then I actually go, oh, no, this is different. This is all different stuff now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I even noticed like lately, like I've had like older stuff that I started doing when I first starting out that I'll just happen to like think about while I'm on stage. And it's like, oh, like, when like you're like, oh shit, like this is where this can go to make the placement make sense.
Yeah.
Because a long time ago I dropped it because I was doing it the same way and it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And then, but it is like, it's the best feeling to be on stage and be like, holy shit, I finally fucking got a puzzle.
Oh yeah.
A little piece in the puzzle.
And then I have this problem now where like I want to do stuff at different times. And so the audience will know something about me earlier, maybe, and then it's like fucking up a callback I had that I've taken out of my arsenal now if I do that. So
Yeah.
it's always a challenge, I guess.
Yeah. But like once you get on stage, like you know it feels right.
Oh, yeah.
Like 1,000%. You're like,
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
this is it.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can just tweak based off. That's the one part I'm learning. But like, and that's the thing is like it takes time to like
it's a
get
lot
that. Like it's literally a skill.
It's a lot, it's a lot of time and a lot of repetitions. And then I was even when I was driving here, I'm just thinking about how I feel like there's parts of it that other comics like who are like much younger than me, have been doing it much less long, have figured out, and maybe it's just my wiring that like I still haven't figured out how to do it yet.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing, and I'm not like I'm not saying it to condescend, and I'm like almost saying it with jealousy, where I feel like there's a lot of comedians who can get laughs with things that I could never get laughs with, and it's a compliment because they're better performers than I am, because they can sell something that I cannot sell, and something to me that's just like a flat statement is like a punchline for them somehow.
Yeah, with it, it almost it reminds me of when people say like like really really famous comedians, like if they're like people that are doing movies and like the real big superstars, like you almost get to a point to where you're unrelatable, but you have such a big fan base that they'll laugh at anything that you say.
It's a huge challenge. I've seen it.
But the confidence is a huge thing that some people, it almost seems like some people have one or the other, or still. Obviously we're all still trying to figure it out, but it's like you either have like really really great confidence and like stage performance, or you're a really fucking great joke writer, and it's like you have to learn. Like obviously you're still learning both, but like one you got to put a little more effort into. Like the confidence thing and the joke writing for me has been like all a learning experience, because I've learned how to portray confidence, but not every single time.
Oh, yeah. It's hard. It's situational, because you're put into situations where you're not confident.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it is funny to see like people that are like really early in it and like, oh, they're like, yeah, I have it all figured out.
Well, they're stupid, but
no, 1,000%. Yeah, but so when did you where were you born? Did you?
Oh, I was born in Dearborn, Michigan.
Okay, so when did you come to Florida?
1983. I came during the pandemic because actually before the pandemic, because my wife's clairvoyant, it turns out, because I met her in New York. We moved. Neither of us really liked New York. She's from New York, but we both really love sun, palm trees, etc. So we moved to Florida, or not. We moved to Los Angeles because like, well, why don't we just give this a shot? We both rather do this anyway. And my wife loves Disney, and it's like, oh, there's Disneyland right there, and friggin', I love. That's another thing too, where it's like, okay, I did my little, my year or two in New York, and then okay, LA, give the LA thing a shot, and I lived in Hollywood, and again, that's another thing where it's just and the other thing that's always held me back too, and I'm not feeling sorry for myself or anything, but I'm not a hanger, not the hang guy, and two, again, like when I was in New York, like there was a lot of, I would take odd jobs here and there, but I was like still trying to go on the road and make money that way, and then come back, and then so it's like you never fully find your footing there when you're doing that all the time, or you do, and it just takes longer.
Yeah.
And you got to be more patient. I'm not patient, but then like with LA too, as everybody says, there's just not as much stage time in LA, and then the stage time you do have is auditioning essentially, so you're always doing your strongest stuff no matter where you are, and it's not fun because people are always feeling like somebody's watching or looking over the shoulder to see if somebody big shows up. And it's like, and again, too, it's like very relatively early in my relationship with my wife. So I'm just trying to, I'm trying to, I met my wife on Tinder, so of all places, but like when she replied to my first message I sent her, I was like, oh, that's it, we're getting married. So I knew very early on, but it's like you're still, growing together, making that work. And then like I'm doing like Postmates and shit to fucking, so I'm just falling behind comedically. And then I'd go on the road and it'd just be like this, like boot camp. Not, it was just a strong way of putting it, but just like a refresher course, crash course in getting your chops back.
Yeah.
And then we didn't like Hollywood either. So like we both liked Orange County better. So I moved to Fullerton for a year and a half, which by the way, where the Brea Improv is. And I almost, and I love it there too. I wish I could actually afford a house there too, and things weren't the way they were. But again, too, it's like then now all of a sudden, and that's like what, 38 miles from where I lived before, but at the same time, it's LA, so traffic during the daytime, it can be like 4 hours, even though it's 35 minutes back at night with nobody on the road. Yeah, so it's just not quite that, but close enough where I'm just like, I'm not. So like when we moved here, I was just like, because we both just decided, well, okay, we'll move to Florida, and like, okay, we'll be on the coast where both of our, I'm from the Midwest, her family's from the East Coast. Like, we'll be close-ish to our families. They go to Florida more. That's close. That's road adjacent, so I can do it. Like, fuck being famous. I can do the road anymore. And then it's like too, because my wife's aunt had this house that we were just gonna stay at. And we were gonna pay her rent, and it got wrecked by mold. She didn't have insurance. We had the money for it. We bought it from her aunt. We remediated the house, and we own it outright now. And we bought it before the pandemic, so we have we got a great price on it. It's
that's
like
great.
Quadrupled in value, and so, and then too, then then the COVID thing happened, and then all these other places are closed. Then I start doing comedy again, little by little, and then like. I mean, the past couple of years, honestly, and like my friend Dave Landau's brought me on the road a lot too, but it's like, I don't, you stay by your friends' sides, they take care of you, and all of that's paid off for me. And really the past 5 years have been the best years of my career in a lot of ways. And it's like the best, and it's really too, it's like really a place, I like doing comedy out of it in a lot of ways. There's a couple ways I don't like doing comedy out of it, but it's how am I even trying to put it? It's been great, even though I never thought I would end up here. I had no idea. I think a lot of people who end up in Florida had no fucking idea.
Yeah, no, that's
a lot
true.
of things happened that led from A to Z.
Yeah. It'll all change again in, however 10 years. Because, like, I couldn't believe, like, I've been here my entire life.
Yeah.
Melbourne, Florida. I mean, I was in the Keys for, like, 4 years when my parents first had me, and then we moved to Melbourne. But the influx of people has been insane. Like, we were living in this area, Rockledge, which is just, like, a small town, very small town. And they're putting hotels up. Oh, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, that's why we're living out kind of like barely in the sticks now. But it was like, I was like, I can't with the traffic. Like, I've never seen traffic on I-95 in Brevard County. And now it's just like ridiculous. Like you get on the highway, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
That's the thing with my neighborhood in Davenport. And it's by like this gay community reunion. There's Lake Wilson Road. There's I-4. There's 192. And what happens is like when and I stayed at the house like for a few times after I met my wife. I've been coming here to just like for a little vacation since 2016, and at the time there's a 7-Eleven, there's the Publix, there's the McDonald's, that's it. And now it's, they got a Starbucks, they got the pizza, they got the everything, they got an Outback, and they got a Ford's Garage, and all the chain restaurants on this little strip now. And they had to expand the road because it used to be just this 2-lane country highway. And then there's a lot of times too where it's like if I have something on 192 or it's like, that's 10 minutes to get there, like a celebration, 10 minutes to get there. If I time it wrong, it's 45 minutes back.
Jeez.
Like it's LA all over again.
Yeah.
And now, too, they just built this apartment complex across from my subdivision. And now they're building so many more of it. And I'm like, can we have more like stuff to do and more roads before we fill it with that many more human beings?
Exactly. It's bad. It's just terror. It's just, it's all about the money.
Oh, it's of course about the money.
Because housing is the best way to make your money.
Oh, exactly.
Housing and food. You just got to make sure you have a Publix and an apartment complex with 10,000 people in it.
Oh, yeah. No. That's brutal.
Yeah. What's crazy is like, even out here, it used to just be all land. They're building subdivisions out here now.
Yeah.
Which is like crazy. I'm just like, as long as people hold on to their land out here, we'll be fine. But it's inevitable that a business will buy it and eventually build something that you have to rent. But it's the world we live in. Can't be mad about it.
Well, at least I own my house for now.
Yeah, for now. Yeah.
Until a Chinese company gives me an offer I can't refuse.
Exactly.
But
during a hard time. The next pandemic or whatever they'll offer you. Yeah, just get out of here. Go rent an apartment. You'll be fine.
That's the thing too. Is like I'm a little ready to go anyway.
Yeah.
Just because like I love my house, but then like 70% of my my subdivision is Airbnbs.
Oh,
and like my neighbors are this beautiful Cuban couple, their grandparents, they're everything. They have a dog that I'm a little terrified of. And not because I'm terrified of their dog, but because it's like this pit bull fucking whatever thing, and I have a child now. And it's like the dog and I have the dog's name's like Bella. And I remember like one time they had somebody watching the house. And like this little girl comes out. The guy who's watching it has a little daughter with Bella on the leash. This 175-pound behemoth, 75, and it just sees me and is like, and runs at me. And they're like, no, and I'm like, Bella. And then she sees it's me, and it's fine. But they're great. But then, like, we just have, like, this one house that I guess just charges cheap enough. And there was, there was also a fatal shooting at a 1-year-old's birthday party last year. But, yeah, we just have this one house that just disobeys all the, noise ordinances and stuff. Geez. And it's just because I guess they're too cheap. They don't get good people in it. It doesn't matter. They're always shitty guests. Yeah. And it's not, and like the other thing too, I guess they're trying to crack out on them somehow, but since it's their guests, it's like, what are we gonna do? They're gonna leave anyway. So they can't punish them. And like my mother-in-law, she and my sister-in-law bought a house like 3 minutes from us. And then like I see this like, and this one's gated too. Yeah. And I'm walking down the street one day, or I'm picking up my daughter, and I see a couple walking down the street, and they've got like some type of tube between them. And it was like, I'm like, what is it? And it's just like they've got like this bong with like a, oh my God, just down the street. And I'm like, what is it? Well, fuck the gate. You can lose the gate at this point.
The gate at that point.
No.
That's crazy.
No.
I mean, I could get maybe smoking a joint.
Well, smoking it in the confines of your house, but just like,
that's crazy. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's funny because you do get older and you understand.
Oh, 100%.
Like you understand, because we had these neighbors at our old house behind us, and they were these old guys, like had to have been maybe in their 60s, and they would party like a frat house every single night of the fucking week. And I'm just like, the music, like I couldn't even, like I enjoy like sitting outside and writing. It's like my favorite thing to do, just chilling. And I would do it and I would sit out there and they're playing fucking freedom fight songs. Like, blasting music at 9 p.m. I'm like on a Tuesday. I'm like, what is going I can't.
That's my thing too. It's like, it'll be like 1:30 at night. And then I'll be like laying down to sleep. And there's the other thing too, when my wife and daughter are out of town, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna sleep until I wake up uninterrupted. Nobody fucking. Then I just hear out the picture window.
Yeah, makes you want to strangle somebody.
And now you're just wide the hell awake.
Yeah, it's the worst.
No.
Shitty neighbors suck.
Yeah.
But, you know, and people profit off it.
I remember too, because it's like 70% Airbnbs, and then there's like some open mic guy from Michigan. I remember one time, he's a nice guy, so I don't, if he watches it.
He probably won't.
But I remember him being like, Matt, were you in Davenport? And I'm like, yeah, I live there. It's like, oh, I thought it was you. We lived down, and like he lived in my subdivision.
That's crazy.
And you're just like, oh, fine. You're a nice guy, but you know, I don't want to hang out ever.
Oh my God, yeah.
So
I feel, you know, what's crazy is I feel that I understand that so much because like we've had like neighbors like that want to talk and like hang, and I'm just like I'm not interested. I like to keep my house, my home, and stay the fuck out. You know, just me, my husband, and my dog. Oh, but yeah, I just. And people look, it's so annoying when people look down on being unsocial because like I go into work and I don't talk to people. Like I listen to music, I do my job, and like I like talking to people, maybe like maybe why I'm doing a podcast, but like not about like, hey, how's your day going? How's the weather? You know, like small talk kind of thing. And it's just like it gets to the point to where like people they don't like that. They don't like when you're not like in the circle or in the because like at work, like I've had managers reach out to my managers and say that I'm not being social enough. And I'm like, this is
where do you work?
Blue Origin it's a aerospace.
But cool.
It's like, but still, it's like, why do I have to be? Yeah, am I not being paid to just do my job?
That's a thing too, where I like I'm not good at that as far as comedy is concerned. Where I say, like I was saying, but it's like, what the fuck? Like how I couldn't have been an office guy ever. And then like even when and it's also too because it's like I part of the autistic thing like. And my wife will tell me about it too, where like somebody asks me like, "How's your day going?" And it's like either like, "Oh, fine," or I get way too specific. Well, you know, I have to go to the doctor today, and then my daughter's got her dance class, and you know, it took her a long time to get her going, and they're like, like I don't know. They asked
exactly. Do they not want to know?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that because like people always have like a standard response and I'm like, what's the point? Like what we're not friends. I'm never gonna see you outside of this setting. I've met really great people in comedy, which is a big reason why I do this podcast, because I like actually, instead of just, I tell everybody, I'm like, anytime you're talking to a comic, most of the time we're just like shooting the shit outside. Like we're not really getting to know each other. And I'm just like, it's literally why I do the podcast. Because I'm like, maybe I should get to know the people that I'm actually around. Yeah, which I enjoy. I want to know people.
No,
but it's
great.
Like outside of clubs, you're like not really. Yeah. We're all trying to make each other laugh, or you know.
I don't fucking like doing that either.
Yeah.
I don't like being fucking on guys all the time. Can we take it down a notch? But at the same time, now like you were saying, you're doing this early on, and that's very wise. Because that's just something that's just part of the skill set now, and it's even knowing how to edit stuff too, knowing your way around equipment, all of this stuff. And I never had any concept, any notion that would be part of it when I started. But I'm glad. And two, I was like a thing too, because I've met some comics that I was very good friends with too, where they're like very. And I had a friend, and I won't say his name because I just don't want to shit on him, but he's a great writer. But I remember, like, God, I don't know, 2009, saying something to the effect of, like, hey, we should start a podcast. And he said something like, really, a podcast with comedians talking about comedy? Don't you think that's, like, a little oversaturated?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you have no fucking idea how oversaturated it's going to be.
Yeah.
That makes about as much sense as saying, like, oh, comedians going on stage doing, like, no, it's just
how many people are trying to be comedians? Yeah. No, that's the thing is, like, my biggest motive behind it was I don't want to post my stand-up on my social media because
that's understandable.
I have a long-term vision of, like, what I want to do, which is, like, I want to get really, really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
And then have enough money to do my own shit, my own special, my own shit, which is very, very far down the road. I don't know when it's going to be, but I'm like, as a society that we live in today, I need some sort of social media representation. And I'm just like, well, I like having attention on me, and I like getting to know people, so I'm going to do a podcast. And, like, that's the thing is, like, I'm glad I'm doing it early on because it's probably going to be the thing that gets me, probably financially where I need to be able to get better at stand-up.
No, it'll be good. You like having attention on you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
I had a hard time admitting it, for the longest time. But it's like, it's more like a... here's the thing is, like, I can go both ways. Like, if I am not comfortable, I won't talk to anybody. I stay very, like, solitude. Like, I don't. But if I'm, like, on stage, I've learned to, like, love the attention, obviously. Or, like, in school, I would get bored, so I would do dumb shit to get I would throw my books on the floor.
Oh, really?
To get people to look at me.
Really?
Like, it was the weirdest shit. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I would. I would just do stupid shit to, like, make people either laugh or get eyes on me. And, like this, like, I'm comfortable here talking to you, so it's like, I do enjoy the attention, but, like, I pick and choose it, which is really odd. I don't know why I do that, but yeah.
That is a thing about me, is because I hate it. And it's another thing, too, because when I started, too, there was, like, so many headliners who no one knew who they were. But at the same time, you could eke out a living, and then there's, like, the corporates and churches and cruises and all this stuff. And so... people thought, oh, there's no money in comedy, but there's money in comedy. And now there's really money in comedy, but it's so incumbent on your social media presence. And, like, that's the part of it, that's the attention part I hate.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
It really is frustrating that you have to do it.
Well, like, I did... my friend Michael Malice, I did his podcast 5 years ago, and he did this one little joke where it's like kind of an Andy Kaufman thing where it's like, before we get to our he has a fake question and you do, like, some fake answers, and it's just this absurd thing. And I remember I was looking at that and going, like, oh, that would probably be a good clip. And it's a clip I put on my Instagram. And, like, and I knew, since, like, part of the algorithm is people watching it all the way through, it's only 6 seconds. It'll do really well. And it's, like, done really well for me because it's gotten whatever 1 million views and 40 whatever likes. And, it'll go through these things where, like, it'll gain and lose momentum. Like, it'll re-catch an algorithm. So it'll, like, start hitting people's feeds again. And because, like, in the last couple days, I gained, like, 200 something followers off of it, and I haven't even posted one single new thing. But, like, every time I look at, like, the comment, like, oh, you have a new comment, I'm like, usually look at it, and it's a GIF. And it's like, oh, good, I don't have to know what it is, Like, I don't want to engage the comments, even though, like, I just don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
Because, like, you have people saying nasty things.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have people saying, or, like, in that case, you have people taking it, like, literally. And, like, and the thing is, the caveat there being is, occasionally if you get a nasty comment, that might be like fodder for material. But at the same time, I don't want to have 45 minutes of, well, this guy said this thing online. That's already like a little like chink in my armor. Is not, and don't clip that out because I said, or I was friends with, or I knew Shane Gillis before he was anybody. So maybe do clip it out. I don't, but like that is a weakness I have where I have too many jokes that I feel like are like, well, this person said, and I was like, and I also do try to frame it like I didn't retort it immediately because I feel like that's so disingenuous because I'm just not that quick on my feet. And that's another problem I have is I'm not quick on my feet. And that's another reason why I don't like to post lots of clips of like because I've been like lucky a couple times recently, like where I've had a funny spontaneous thing or a funny interaction. But for me, it's about the material. And at the same time, like, and maybe this is just making myself feel better about it.
Yeah.
But like, I just go, well, you know, the comedians I really admire, like Norm Macdonald, Louis C.K., you know, like I don't like the crowd work stuff so much. Like it's like hand in hand. Like if somebody's also a good writer, then I tend to like their crowd work, you know? But it's not, other than that, it's just, I'm not a fan of the crowd work myself, so I don't want to do it, but it's mostly because I'm not really good at it. But,
But it's what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing.
It's hard, too, because then people say, like, oh, you're a good writer. I'm like, I'm not a good fucking writer. Like, I have the illusion of being a good writer because and they're not even written, but like the well thought out things that I think occasionally I've been able to collect enough of them and put them in an order that, you know.
Yeah, you've been working on it for years.
Creates 20 to 45 minutes of mostly funny things for most, you know, situations. And I mean, I guess that's the best thing I can say about myself is that I think I'm pretty durable or like pretty, and it's not, but like pretty adaptable and pretty, and not middle of the road, but pretty, I tend to do decent in most situations. I don't feel like there's a lot of crowds I get in front of where I just eat it.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't need like whatever my audience, whatever that is. It'd be nice to have it. But,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is there's like multiple ways you can. I mean, that's where skill comes in too, though. Is like if you're malleable to different types of crowds, you're a capable, skilled comedian.
Yeah, and I mean, I worry about like being, I guess, like too broad or like not finding the thing, because I don't even know what it would be. I definitely don't want it to be autism. Because first of all, like that was the other thing when I started, that was like, oh, you know, you're a straight white guy, but you're also autistic. That's your ace in the hole. You know, like, have you seen a lineup lately? And that's another thing. Like, I get a little resentful now when you see like this like type A extroverted millennial get on stage and be like, I have autism. And you're like, are you sure?
Yeah. It's definitely that portion has gotten out of control.
And then that was like the thing too, because then I'll do like shows like Milk District or whatever, where or like a Don't Tell, where so many people say, like when I like first started doing jokes about it, like I have to go up and explain it, and now everybody just like has this shorthand of it because it's so commonplace.
Yeah.
And like I remember too, like people, and I do have a joke about it in my act where people would talk about like doing why didn't you just, you know, like write a whole thing about autism? Because like this university has this autistic group and they'd bring you, and I'm like, could you imagine a worse audience to do comedy in front of than 200 especially college kids with autism? That sounds like a nightmare. No, I like having fun.
Yeah.
I like enjoying my shows.
Right.
So.
No, yeah, you don't need people analyzing and picking apart every single
No.
You need somebody to just absorb the whole joke and have a couple glasses of wine in them.
No, I remember somebody you can meet this group of people with they're also adults with autism, and that Louis C.K. had a joke about his parents accidentally sending him to a camp for retarded kids, and he's like, "Holy shit, I'm retarded! I didn't think I was, but I must be." And that's exactly how I felt in that moment.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have noticed because I was off of social media for 2-3 years before I started comedy. I didn't have, and it was the best time of my life.
Oh, it's amazing.
I was like, oh my God, this is what living is like.
Well, I just did a thing, and I was able to have a good relationship adding the apps back in after the fact. It's been harder the last couple days, but just taking them off your phone. Just you don't have to delete your accounts necessarily, but if you take them off your phone and just okay, I'm only going to look at them when I look at the computer, it's 2008 again or whatever. It's that's I almost feel like that's the exact right amount, because again, too, it's I'm 42, I started going on the internet in 1998, 1999, and then I have 3 siblings, so I have to share the computer with your siblings.
I remember doing that.
So you only get so much of it.
Yeah.
But then it's just it's like going to the video store. You get the one thing, you have to check it. You're like, what's new? What's new today? It's fun.
Yeah, you have to go out of your way to because it's consumed my life lately. I'm back to where I was before I got off, and I'm just I gotta get this shit is
that's my thing.
It makes me depressed.
Oh, it makes you depressed.
My God.
You got to take it off your phone for a month.
Mm-hmm.
Is the thing I found helped me. And then you have to make sure it's not on the browser either. If you're logged in on the internet browser, because you can't delete your browser.
Yeah.
And then that's the best strategy I've found so far. And and the thing that got to me too was that you would think it would be hard. It wasn't hard either. I don't know. I never engaged, and I guess it was just I was too old. I never engaged with TikTok. I started one, and then I was just I'm not doing this. And then Instagram, it can be a bad habit, but that was holy shit, did I not miss Facebook at all? I do, and that's the one I still I have a feed blocker on my thing too, because I just don't want to see people's posts.
Yeah.
And it's just so easy, but then the thing that sucks about it is that you do feel disconnected, and which can be kind of important as a comic. It can, but it also feels more important than it is what I've found, and not necessarily from my own thing, but just from looking at other people's careers. Is that no, they're not. The people you really see doing stuff aren't starting drama, and they're not having pissing contests.
Yeah.
They're doing the work.
Yeah, and they're also not sitting on their phones watching other people do work all day. That's the thing. Is I've noticed my procrastination has gotten worse because I had this thing where I don't go on TikTok. It's the only app I don't actively watch videos on, but Instagram. Those reels, somehow they get you into that little section where you're, and I'm just I was actively not doing it for a long time.
Are you watching comedy reels or podcasts?
No, it's just conspirasi theory reels and the shit that I really enjoy outside of comedy, racist, funny shit.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
The stupid, really what the kids call brain rot. Just, I'm watching stupid stuff all day, which is it's super enjoyable to sit down and not get anything done, but it's when I started using it like a lot lately, I've noticed my procrastination has just gone like I haven't been writing.
No,
I've been going to way less like I'm doing 4 shows instead of 10 a week, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You gotta detach from that.
I'm gonna try that browser thing.
Yeah, just cut the cord immediately.
My excuse has been that I use it as a communication tool to talk to the comedians, but I'm like, do I need to talk to? I don't need to talk to anybody until I need to.
If you want to do spots and stuff, but there's an app called Beeper.
Yeah.
And Beeper, I believe, Beeper with BEEPR. And you can connect. And the only reason I got it was because I needed to connect. You can connect your like Twitter direct messages or the specifically the one I needed it for was Instagram.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because that way you can message people with Instagram and get their messages, but you don't have to open your Instagram to look at it.
Oh, I just download it.
Good, yeah. You put as many barriers and keep posting stuff because it's like the Instagram desktop interface is kind of shitty, but it's good. It's fine for posting stuff.
Yeah, and I airdrop everything to my phone to post, so it almost cuts out the fact that I have to airdrop it. I can just post it from my computer because I have my Mac that I do all my shit on. So I'm gonna do that because lately I've been struggling to just get out, walk my fucking dog, exercise, do something other than sitting on my phone. Yeah,
and that's a funny thing too, because then like when I go to the gym, like that actually like between sets and stuff, that kind of becomes like my phone time, and and also just like thank God I have a daughter too, because I have to play with her.
You're occupied,
I have to develop her brain and and all of that kind of thing. But
develop her brain.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to give her guidance and blah blah blah. But that's because the caveat of that being, especially when they're particularly of a little age and you have the phone there, you do like but she's at the age now where she is so and thank God too for my wife for her sake that she's actually, because the first couple of years she's actually taken an interest in her father now, so that I can actually give my wife a break from her a lot of the time. But like the best thing that happened was the night before they left, and I felt bad because actually my sister, she has 3 kids, and her oldest is like 5, and they FaceTimed me because I wanted to talk, and I missed it. But the they had I left my phone in my car and I couldn't find it, and I didn't know where. I looked all over, and eventually I found that I left it in my car my whole time, but I just left it in my phone, or I left it in my car for like 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours, and I didn't care about it. I didn't miss it. And 2, it's an important thing too, where like I'm just trying to get in the habit of just not having a fucking voice in my head all day too, in terms of podcasts or just ambient entertainment.
Yes,
and just seeking, just mainlining whatever thing is next. Just trying to be more deliberate about that is good. And that's another thing too, because I remember like when my daughter had a tablet. And like when she's being deliberate now too, which is good, because I remember the first time she had one, I was like, oh, that's very, very, very bad, because she loved it, but at the same time, she was just like a DJ spinning around. She did not take any time to like watch anything at all. I'm like, oh, if that's her attention span starting out, this is going to be very, very bad. And we took her to the movies for the first time the other day, and she was actually not feeling well, because we took her to see they really released the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for $9.99.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. She's going to be talking the whole time. It's funny, because she like fell asleep relatively quickly early into it, slept soundly through most of it, and then it was over. She woke up and she's like, "That was such a good movie."
That's funny.
And then my daughter my wife told me, she's like, "Oh, I want to see." Katie had her sister-in-law, her sister, my sister-in-law. She's like, she has the movie, so she's seen it a few times. I'm like, "Oh, really?" But no, she still liked it. I'm like, "Oh, okay." I want it to be special.
Yeah. It is. I think a lot of kids end up like being on the phones and the tablets so much, not so much because they're given it, but because they see their parents on it.
Yeah.
Like imagine like you're a baby and you're playing on the floor and like from birth, this is just your mom sitting on the couch all day.
That's very bad.
Because they're gonna emulate their parents eventually, right?
Yeah, we gotta get or rebel against them.
Yeah, that too. There's a portion of that.
Yeah, that would be positive in that case, but I just hope we get our heads around it because. It's funny just to think of like TV and stuff too, where it's people thought that was brain rot when it was the thing, and then like you just want to go back to that.
Yeah, you never thought it could get worse.
That's like too. Is I know like a good streaming show sometimes, and I'll watch something sometimes, and everything nowadays is like, did it really need to be 12 episodes? Even if it's good, there's just so much filler put into it.
Yeah.
And it didn't need to be like such a time suck, and it didn't need to be. It could have been something that actually held your attention, because I just feel like we've just all just kind of dullened our enjoyment and appreciation of everything.
Yeah.
And funnily too, I oddly I think, because when I started, there was Dane Cook. But like arena comedy was not a thing. And now you're looking like there's so many different people in arenas. And then you look at Shane, and he just did the stadium at Notre Dame in front of like 80,000 people. And that's in and of itself, even though all this technology is what spreads comedy, to me, that's almost like something that's sort of rebellious against technology because of how lo-fi stand-up is, because it's just a guy or a girl with a microphone talking. It's
taken the charm out of it. Because like it's I was just watching Rodney Dangerfield's HBO special this morning where he did a showcase of people at his club, and it's like,
oh yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
You watch the stand-up, and back then they were so much more like, it's funny, obviously, because it's original. Yeah. But, like, it's back in the day, it was so much more like, oh, this is exciting to go to, because it's not everywhere. It's not it's not in your phone. You're not watching people do stand-up 24. It's much harder to entertain people.
Oh, yeah, the audience is for sure.
And be special, Yeah. So it's like when you're surrounded by it. Yeah, I think there will be a fall, and then there's got to be a recharm. Like something has to happen to make it like, oh, I want to go see this, because you can't just see it, in the palm of your hand kind of thing.
That's the thing too, where I just feel like having done it a long enough time, I feel like audiences used to react harder. And I'm like, I know I was worse at this back then, but I just feel like. And I'm not saying like I'm a killer or anything, but it's just like I do remember like feeling like maybe it's just innocence or naivete, but I don't like. Yeah, the crowds just seemed hotter.
It's changed. Yeah, it's like it's almost like the fan base of comedy.
But at the same time, they're. Too, like when I started too in like Detroit and stuff, like a lot of the clubs and stuff, like in that part of the country, they'd kind of been trained on hack comedy, and like part of like some of the old timer guys had like a reputation regionally for being hacks, and so the plus side is I feel like the audiences are a little more educated to comedy in a good way.
Yep.
The downside too with the internet too and everything is, and I just feel like a lot of clubs too. Like I'm like, how many clubs did I go to? And there's free tickets and all that stuff, so that has this downside. But like, actually did the groundwork of promoting and were able to fill the room up, even though the entire lineup was nobodies.
Yeah.
And it's a thing too where I see that with the local shows I do too, where it's like, nobody knows who anybody is on here, and you still got people to come. And a problem I have is I feel like the real clubs a lot of times aren't doing that anymore. They think the person's social, clout will fill that up from themselves and take all the work for them, and that's really frustrating for me. And I also, and like too, like when you have the social people who don't really have acts and can't really, people will come and they'll have a good time, but they're not going to come back. They're not going to see that show again, and they're not going to just come to the club because they want to see comedy.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge too.
No, so I have this because I've learned that just recently because I've been able to do a couple shows with like headliners that are touring through, and I noticed that like at least with the chain clubs, they just look at their follower count, and these people are in another state. They're not even in the same state that they're booking the club for, because they're booking for all the clubs. They're just rifling through comedians online, and if you got over 25K, you're in, which is crazy because a lot of people that I've seen go through clubs, because I'll try to like see if I can get a guest spot or something, and I've seen a lot of people that have been booked that paid for followers, and you can see. Because you just look at how many likes they have. It's science, right?
No,
but it's
then you do the following of that. And then I'm told that people, club owners and stuff will look into that too. Because then you look into actually look at the followers that they have, look at the profiles. And it's like, it's like this AI thing. And it's like this fake pilot. And it's just like,
yeah. And it's crazy that it's like I've noticed that chain clubs, they aren't really comedy clubs anymore. Like they're booking like a lot of different things just to fill the nights.
Yeah, and I understand to a point. One of my home clubs, for example, and it's not a chain, it's a mom and pop club.
Yeah.
They have a huge showroom and they have a stage. They'll do stuff like that on off nights, and they even had like a fashion show in the daytime. And I'm like, well, that's good. That's good. Make
business,
money. Keep the lights on. But the mom and pop ones, and it stinks because they're just, you feel like those go down all the time, and then there becomes less and less of them. And it's like, it's funny because Side Splitters is such a great reputation nationally among big comics, and I love Side Splitters.
Yeah.
But it reminds me, too, when you go to the original one in Tampa, it reminds me so much of so many clubs I started out in that aren't around anymore. And just to me, it's like, oh, this is what comedy is. This is what it's supposed to be. And again, too, they do such a great job of having a clientele of people who come for comedy, not just, fucking some jack off with a ferret or some shit on ticket. Yeah.
No, I literally was just telling, because I was talking to somebody up north about this. I was just like, it's not, I've been to shows almost all over Florida, and I've seen the clubs, and it's Side Splitters is it's the best club in Florida to me. I really love it. I think it's, when you walk, you feel you feel
that history.
I
love
the
that
pictures
so
on the wall.
much. I love the old headshots so much.
Yeah. And that's
best.
what so the Alex's Underground thing that I'm doing, it's a nonprofit, so I'm using it to try to open up a comedy venue in Brevard County, and I'm like, that's what I want. I want a fucking it's a club that people come to the club because they know they're gonna see good comedy, and I want it to be I almost, as this is not ego or anything, or trying to make what I want something bigger than it's supposed to be, but I was reading just this morning, I've been ordering these books from comedians, and I was reading.
Oh, this is great.
I was reading the opening of Dangerfields.
How many years have you been doing this now? How many years? Are you?
Just under 2 years.
Oh, this is perfect. This is ideal. This is exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, I need to learn from the professionals, like
exactly
the people.
You have your obsession years, and that's amazing. That's.
Yeah, but I was reading the intro of that book just this morning because I just got it in last night, and I just happened to open it up, like, which I don't really do, like, because I'm reading the George Carlin's right now, but I can't read multiple books at once. I can't do it. But I just happened to open that.
I can't read one book at once. I'm not even.
I saw what was it? Yeah, so Jim Carrey. There was a foreword from Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey. I was like, it's a quick little thing in the front that I can read. So I read it. And I didn't know that Dangerfield was like his I don't get no respect was like a joke because he gets all the respect from the people around him because he would support the comedians that he had an eye for that were talented. Yeah. And I'm like, it's funny because like I just read that this morning and I'm like, this has been my mission for the club that I'm trying to open down here, which has been, and I'm just like, that's where like I feel like good comedians like thrive when they're supported in a good environment where you have people coming to laugh, that they know what they're in for when they pay for tickets. It's not over. It doesn't cost $120 to go see somebody. You can pay $20 and go have the best. Or nothing. Or nothing. That's the thing.
That's not healthy either. That's one of the worst things you're gonna.
Yeah, that's the thing is like it's we need more good clubs. I've noticed, and again, like I'm a baby. I'm early in this. I don't have as much experience. I haven't traveled all over the U.S., but it's just something I noticed. And I'm like,
well, no, it's rudimentary common sense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not leaving this Florida. Like, I love where I'm at. I'm happy here. We got family here. So I'm like, if I want to be at a good club, I just need to open a good club.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's what you should be doing. And that's the best thing, I think, that came out of social media and came out of the pandemic is that you don't need to live in New York now. You don't need to live in LA now. And it's like, and I was just in Austin and like, I love what they're doing in Austin, but at the same time, it's like, you don't need to live there either.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's like the best thing you can do is just like, and if you can, the more often you can do it, maybe the better is just like check in with those cities every once in a while. And remind people you exist. And I should probably, like, because it's like I was in Austin and then I hadn't. And like the first time I was there, I had a great time. And then like, oh yeah, I should come back here all the time. I'm like, I don't know. I could afford to rent a room here. I don't. And like I haven't, my life happened. And so I haven't been back in a single year. So maybe more often than that. But I don't know. I think it's very unhealthy to like get caught up in the currency of like any one scene and think any of that is important.
Yes.
It's just, to me, that's like so high school to me, really. It's not productive.
It's true. I've learned it because like I've been, because we don't have a kid, so I have this free time, this free money. I'm like, I need to take advantage of where I'm at, go meet people, go do stand up in other places, understand how it works. And I noticed over the course of my past time going to Austin, I go like 3 times a year because it's cheap, it's quick, it's a 2-hour, 2.5 hour
that's
flight.
The thing. It's like so close and so much cheaper than New York or LA.
I've got comic friends from Orlando and from Melbourne out there, so it feels like a second home almost. At this point, it does. When I first started going out there, I was a little like, but it's like you do notice that there's and it seems like people flush themselves out in comedy, but there is a like, people have this hope that like, oh, I'm going to go to Austin and this is the thing. And it's like, I'm going to be famous and around famous people and this social currency exchange to where like people are just there to like be there, which is like whatever, you know, whatever you want to do. But I've had people come up to me in Austin and tell me they're just like, be careful here, because there's a lot of people that are just here to be here. And I it is very high school. It is very, it's like wanting to sit at the table with the cool kids kind of thing. Everyone has their own clique and their own like, but for me, it's like, I'm like, you know, going there has helped me understand so much more about stand-up that I wouldn't have known if I just stayed in Melbourne, Florida for the past 2 years. So it's like, it's been helpful, and it's been super nice going there and like understanding like how a real like a circuit works or levels of stand-up, because like here we just have our bar open mics and then our you know, mid-level shows, our low-level shows,
and they have those with a cowboy hat on.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's different, but it's the same.
Yeah, it's all kind of. That's the thing too, because you do have, and I had people give me advice like, "Oh, don't do this until you're ready. Don't do that until you're ready," and then like that's just them telling you why they're not doing it or justifying their own fear to themselves. I had something like recently where somebody's like, yeah, well, they're not making any money and like doing those spots. I'm like, no, actually, they pay them for those spots. And you're like, oh, they do? Oh, well, yeah, good.
Yeah. People like to make excuses for what they're not doing. I've heard it's that a lot.
That's the thing too, where it's like, own what you're not doing. Like, I guess, I mean, that's a thing I've done, you know. And it's like, do I wish maybe some things had played out differently, or if I'd tried to do some things a different way? Sure, but ultimately, I'm pretty happy with how things are, and I have faith that they happen for a reason. Yeah, so
exactly, 1,000%.
So yeah, just don't. That's like a thing where it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the right. If I'm thinking a trust but verify is the right way to put it, but it's like it's like you consider what people tell you, but you still have to go with what you feel is in your gut instincts. Because I've gone against it in my past, and it's never led me anywhere good.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, I should have listened.
Good or productive, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 1,000%. Because I've had those like instances where like, dude, I'll be on the fucking plane and I'm just like, should I be doing this?
Well, and the short answer is yes, you should. Of course you should.
Yeah. And but it's because of the bullshit of like people being like, oh, like you're not ready. You know,
well, the thing is, if you're not ready, well, good. How do you get ready? By doing it.
Exactly. Well, yeah. It's just I look at it as training because I have the time. It's literally just training because I have the time, getting on the plane and doing stand-up in another state.
Yeah.
And being uncomfortable.
I mean, and if they'll put you up, they'll let you do it, then do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is a lot of people hold themselves back. Yeah. People, and that's where I'm like...
Yeah, you can be not ready, but they were dumb enough to give you the spot. So,
I mean, but that's, you gotta work on that's how you work the muscle.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And two, it's like if you get those spots, but like an opportunity to feature, an opportunity to headline, like I definitely like if somebody gave you an opportunity to like headline like the first year you were doing, like maybe I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no.
But it's like it's a good, like if you have like a killer feature set and somebody's like you should headline next time, yeah, you should, even if because
you've already accomplished that level.
Even if you got to stretch, like how do you think you get a headlining set by having to? Like there's no other way.
Yeah, because that's the thing where I'm like, I was telling you earlier, like I've been holding myself back because I've been sticking myself to being like, I'm too early in, I can only do 5 to 10 minutes. I tell people all the time, I'm like, dude, I got maybe a tight 3. Because I know I'm not where I want to be, but like you said, you're never going to be where you want to be. So I've been like holding myself back to be like, challenge myself and actually maybe try to ask for, maybe do a feature spot somewhere and really try to see if I can do it. Because I'm like, I've been telling myself, you're not ready. I'm like, when am I going to be ready? I gotta try it, and then I gotta work on it, because it's a muscle to be up there for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But because I even notice, like, open mics where we have like barely any comedians show up, I'll be standing up there for, the longest I did was like 18 minutes one time, and I was sweating.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know. There's shit dripping out of my nose. I'm like, it's literally like, I got to practice this more, because like, I can't keep just doing the 5, 8, 10. Like, I got to learn how to stretch. So it's like having a little bit of a confidence and an ego to be like, I'm just going to do it it's a good thing. Because if you're just always like, nah, I'm not good enough for that yet, or I'm not ready, or I need more time, it's like, yeah, I can hold you back. But again, there's the line of like, yeah, okay, if you're a year in, like, you probably shouldn't take a headlining spot.
Or somebody who's dead now brought me to feature. It was like one of my first gigs like that, featuring, and I just remember dreading it. And it was like a St. Patrick's Day show in the basement of a restaurant. And it was just, for whatever reason, it was just like a very friendly crowd. And like, I'm sure it didn't go great, but like, it just went it went good. So it was just like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, it's like
and your confidence will ebb and flow too.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared for that.
And once you do it, like you said, you're just like, oh shit. Like, once you feel like you're capable, it's like, okay, I can really like fucking work this now, which is like probably a great feeling.
Because then there'd be people too that see the person that they think is bad or isn't ready or isn't doing, and they get caught up in the resentment of them, and and hating on them, and it's like, maybe privately, I'm sure I've been guilty of that myself. We all are, but like, they're out there doing it, and it's like a thing where I'm like having the hindsight of like 20 years. Like, oh, remember when you did that? Oh, well, who's the one who makes a living at comedy now? And even if they're still doing comedy you think sucks or you don't like, it's an evolved version of it. They're doing it competently. Yeah. And they're paying their bills, and you're not.
Exactly. That's the thing, is like, it's a lot of people talk about it too. It's especially in comedy circles, like, there's some of the petty people that are just talk shit on all the people doing good. And I'm just like, why? What's the point?
I don't pay too much attention. How comfortable are they hating publicly now?
It seems like it's just social media.
Oh, really?
It's a lot of
naming names.
It's a lot of passive aggressive stuff.
Okay.
Like, a lot of just, and I hate it. I hate it, because I'm like, when I was in, it's my senior year of high school, I said out loud, I'm like, I can't wait for the bullshit to be over. The cliques and the drama. It doesn't end. It never ends. And running rooms is where I've run into it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I run rooms in my local area, and it's like, and I'm not calling anybody, I don't name names. I don't call anybody out specifically, but it's like stuff that other people do publicly to like try to bring whatever you're working on down, and it's just like, it's unnecessary and just like it's annoying.
I one time called it like, it's like zero stakes drama between people who are exactly alike.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, what? None of this. We're in Melbourne, fucking Florida. Like, none of this means anything to anybody. We're just trying to all work on our shit.
Like, because I remember that about a friend of mine in Detroit. It's another person who passed away too, and then a person I wish did. But I remember that, like, they hated each other, and I'm like, and of course they were nice to each other's face when I saw them at a party both together. But I'm just like, you're the fucking same guy. You're the same human being in every tangible way. Like, beyond, like, why would you rob yourself of like a friendship?
Yeah, it's all unnecessary bullshit. And I even try to resolve things, because I'm a very like, honest, which can maybe I guess can be bad sometimes or taken the wrong way, but I'm a very honest about how I feel like up front. And people are like,
it's the healthiest thing you can do, because I haven't always been honest with people up front. I haven't lied, but I've definitely played things close to the vest. And eventually they come out one way or another, and it's just so much worse for, having not been yourself, even in like a minute way.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I don't do like the passive aggressive. Like I don't smile in front of somebody's face. Like if I know you've been talking shit about me, I'm not going to come up to you and yell at you and make a whole scene. I'm just going to keep my distance and just like, if you're wondering why I'm not engaging, well, I'll tell you. But
is that even a thing? Like, is somebody talking shit about you?
Oh, dude, I've had, unless it's drama and fake stuff coming up, but I've had people come to me and be like, yeah, people are talking mad shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
For what reason?
For what? I'm like,
exactly.
I've accomplished nothing, first of all. I've been going to open mics out of the state.
Booking something is, fodder for that, or that will fester because people are like, well, why aren't they booking me? That sort of thing.
That's another thing is like resentment from like not booking, even though I was going to book. Like, it's like I've had people hold rooms from me because I haven't booked them. And I'm just like, but none of it has been blatantly laid out. It's all been like passive aggressive. And I'm not the person to like, hey, fuck you. Why aren't you booking me? What, because I didn't book you on my room? It's because I told.
And you don't do that either, because a lot of times they were. They didn't get around to it yet.
But that's the thing is, like, I was getting around to it, and when somebody responds like that after I said like, hey, I'm like booked out till the end of the year, I will get back to you, and then they do some weird passive aggressive online retaliation. I'm just like, I was gonna book you. Now I don't feel like it because you're being a dick. But
I did a TV thing once. like, oh god, no, it's 10 years ago. That's so sad. But because I haven't done shit since. But I'm like, oh, this will open some doors. It didn't. I didn't even do that. I didn't even do that club again. But I did a TV thing. And I was confirmed for it, like, I would say 18 months before I got my date. So, and were there times I felt like, hey, fuck off. Do you think I felt like that? Yeah, I felt like it.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it. And then one day they were just like, hey, do you want to do it? I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
So, and I've had that with clubs. I've had that with a lot of things. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't hold any...
Especially, it's like, look at how many people are doing comedy and then figure it out.
Exactly. Like if I'm booking...
You're going to take it personally?
Yeah. If I'm booking a show once a month and there's 4 people on it, that's a small majority of the comedians.
And I mean, to an extent, because like maybe I'm contradicting myself, but that is a thing where, because I'm very in favor of like tunnel vision and staying in your own lane and putting your blinders up and keeping your head down, all that sort of thing. But that is a healthy thing about community or whatever you want to call it, or a scene, at least engaging a little online, or even, goddamn, just like go on a thing to, or like go on a comedy club's website, even like look at the calendar, look at the people on it, look at their socials, like see what you're up against, and just really just put it in perspective.
Exactly. That's the thing is why I go to professional clubs too, because it puts it into perspective where you're at. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to be going to professional clubs.
Yes,
then what are you doing? That was like a thing that some people I know who are really, really funny fell into, was just to like, and there would even be cases of people who were like working the road and they go to New York and then they just do all these bar shows and wouldn't even try to get into the clubs. And I'm just like, what do you do? You're a club comic. What are you even doing? And maybe they're just intimidated on some level. Yeah. Or maybe you're just like, you just don't have an in, because I know how that feels too, to like go and hang and just be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, because you don't know anybody, or you know people who aren't, and it's like the end game of it isn't readily apparent. And that's the thing too, because I have the thing too where like I have people I know who when I started who should, at the very, like, they should be passed at the cellar, they should be passed at the store, and they're not, or, you know, they're there, but they don't do comedy, or they moved back to where they were from, all that kind of thing. And then I know like younger comics who started, you know, 10 years after I did, 6 years after I did it, like, who didn't have that baggage or that trepidation for whatever reason, and they got so much farther than like guys who they at one point looked to as like upperclassmen.
Yeah.
So you just can't think about that kind of thing. You can't put those roadblocks in front of yourself. You're going to have enough roadblocks as it is.
Yeah. That's why I like, because I know this stuff exists beyond like the bullshit with like human interaction. So I'm like, I know that I again, it's so fucked up, but I look at it as like a test. Like this is a small scale version of what it will be like when I get towards, you know, whatever success I'm trying to get towards, because it's just going to be the same bullshit of like people interacting and having issues with each other, and it's like that's why it is good to put your blinders up and just keep your head down.
Especially that's the thing, because when I was talking about the headliners I knew coming up who lived in anonymity, it's like that's what I wanted. That was my dream, and now it's become this thing where it's like if you're featuring for a comic and you're making enough money, it's like, and then you get to headline like a little bit, it's almost like, in a way, it's not enough, and like you get especially when you know what you're capable of, and you know when it's like time to move past it, but it's almost a sweet spot because you don't have to have like the psychic baggage they have of being canceled or having people shitting on them, or just having people just in the comments like making the same hacky jokes about them all the time, and feeling like they're because they're self-deprecating, or they've seen people break their balls, or like on podcasts that they feel like they're part of it now and they're not. You know, like and again too, it's like a thing where I'm pretty good about putting blinders on that and just not looking at it. Like I'll open my phone and see a comment and something, and I'll just, you know, glaze my eyes a little so that I lose focus, so I don't actually have to be
see it.
I'm actually incapable of reading whatever is said. But I got to do it.
No, yeah. I mean, it's part of it, right? But yeah, this has been fun. We've been doing it for a while, like an hour and a half. I want to keep talking to you.
Well, have me back.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. I definitely will. But it's been good talking to you and getting to know you more for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I always enjoy talking to you whenever I see you, which is rare, but
I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. I always feel like when I do Orlando shows, I always feel like I was just here, and then like. It's like, again, too, because I feel like I'm getting older than everybody. And when you get older, your perception of time compresses. Yeah. So, like, I'm like, oh, fuck, that was 6 months ago.
It's like another timeline, though. You're just restarting where you left off.
And, like, too, like, there'd be, like, these rooms, too, where, like, every time, like, I'm like, oh, I should try to do that room again. Or somebody will message me, and it's like, oh, it's this new guy now. They're in Austin now or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's like... Because then when I put myself in their shoes, like, oh, that's like a whole lifetime. That's what that was back then.
No, yeah, for sure. You want any upcoming shows, Instagram?
MattMcClowry.com, at Matt McClowry on all platforms. It's MCCLOWRY. If you misspelled it, they would probably say, do you mean Matt McClowry? But... yeah, just please follow me, the Instagram one in particular. Yes. And I'll post stuff about shows there, I guess.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Cool. Thanks for coming. That was fun. I'll definitely have you back.
Thank you. That was a blast.
She keep working that back and I'm about to throw the shit like